Hi guys, and welcome back to Pamela's Tarot Tales. We're continuing our hashtag 31 Days of Tarot by Ethany Dawn. And today's question is, do you have a deck for personal use only? Why or why not? So, I guess right now I do. I don't know if that'll change, but right now the La Corte de Trochi is for personal use only at this time. Like I said, I'm not sure if that will change over time, but right now I just really enjoy it for myself. There we go, now you can actually see it. And this deck is fabulous. I got it in November of last year. I think I've shown it in a couple other videos. But I love the size, I love the cardstock, it's super, super thick. I love the imagery and just how crisp and clear and concise it is for me when reading this deck. So again, I'm not sure if this will be for me only, but right now it is, and I'm enjoying that. And I don't know that I want to share that with anybody else yet. So anyway, it's a gorgeous deck. But I do have, this isn't part of her question, but I thought how interesting for when people, want to keep things only for themselves, or that they feel that the deck is just so personal, which I get that. But I have a deck that's kind of the opposite, that is, it only wants to be read for others. I've tried to read for myself over and over and over again with it. It does not read for me, for myself, but I can read it for others if I'm pulling cards for someone else, especially for strangers that I don't know. It's a great reader for that. It is Tarot of the Magical Forest, and that is a Lo Scarabeo deck. These are the backs, and it's very, very Rider-Waite-Smith. It's pretty much a clone. I mean, it's the same imagery, except for it's got cute animals. And it's got frogs for wands, and pigs, and cats, and lambs. It's really sweet. It's a beautiful little deck. I found that I personally don't relate to the Rider-Waite-Smith, not the system, but the actual traditional cards very well. And so I got this hoping that this would help me because it's very, very similar, but sweeter in a way, cuter, and just allows me to connect with it a little bit better. But again, it only reads for others. For whatever reason, my mind just goes blank completely when I try to read for myself. So, you know what? I just let it. It's not a big deal. This one's going to make a great work deck. So I'm going to go ahead and cover tomorrow's tag as well, which is, do you read reversals? Why or why not? And I know this is a big debate, and a lot of people stand firmly on one side or the other. And, for me, it depends on the deck. Depends on a lot of things. But on a whole, in general, I do read reversals. I like to read reversals. I feel like, for me, it's helpful. But I read reversals not as in opposition to, I read them as inner blockages, inner dialogue, anything doing with internal, or blockages to that energy. And so for me, I like to see that in reverse. I like to see that pull up. And I know clients don't like to see reverse. They feel confused by them oftentimes. But I found that when I explained it, that it's just an internal versus an external, or it's a blockage to that energy, they seem to be relieved by that, and I'm okay with that. I do see how people read without them, and I totally respect that. But for me right now, and again, this may change, I'm totally open to that, to see what happens. But for me, right now, I do enjoy reading reversals. Especially with Marseille. I know a lot of people don't read reversals with Marseille or pip decks, but I find that directionality makes a big difference. So when the figures are facing one way, when they're upright and they face the other way, it can give a whole different meaning. And can you glean that from without it? Sure. If your reading thing is more a big picture. I do okay with big picture and story, but as a reader, I tend to do better looking at the cards, not only together, but individually. And not to say that others don't, but I have a harder time seeing just the big story overall. And so when you don't read reversals, you rely more on that, I think. Or that's my impression of it. So, you know, I think that's all I want to say on that. Sorry for the pause, and I hope you have a great day. I'm going to go and work on some other stuff. This has been Pamela with Pamela's Tarot Tales, and I hope you have a great day. See you next time.